Guys, stop jerking off to 50% GP and 2x markup. Obsession with 50% GP or 2x markup just simply flags you as an amateur, and I'm about to explain why. But first, for those who don't know me, my name is Lane Bolin, Chief Operating Officer, CQC. We're a $15 million design build remodeler out of Raleigh, Durham, and founder of Remodel Commander. I make these videos because 96% of contractors go broke over a 10-year period, and I don't want you to be one of them. And as always, I have nothing to sell you in these videos. So yo, guys, story time. This time last year, we were only marking up about 1.5x. That's a 33% gross profit. And we were losing about 2% net profit after owner compensation and taxes in an industry that should do 5 to 6% net. I mean, that's fucking pathetic. So I ordered the team to raise markups to 1.67x, which is a 40% gross profit, to mathematically bring us back in line with industry net profit averages. Because remember, at 33%, we were losing 2%. So if we went to 40%, then we should be making 4% net, you'd think, which is industry standard. That's the industry going rate. And the team howled at me saying that we were going to lose business. And they were right. We lost half our backlog overnight. And granted, I would rather be broke than be exhausted and broke. But this was an important market data point.
Hey, remodelers, Lane Bolin here with the Remodel Profit Podcast. If you're getting value from our podcast or vlog, would you do me a favor and mash the like button and the subscribe button? It really helps out our channel. We're on a mission here to end the 96% failure rate for contractors on a 10-year period, and it really helps us get the message out. Thanks.
And so here is why you look like a moron obsessing over gross profit and 2x markups. Because if you're losing money on some arbitrary markup, all you're doing is accelerating your trip to bankruptcy court if you raise prices because some fucking guru has never been an 8-figure contractor, let alone an active contractor, is telling you to. What you need to do is get your costs under control first before we even look at gross profit. So again, back to that market feedback. We were too high for the market at 40% gross profit. What I learned from this exercise was we didn't have a pricing problem. We didn't even have a sales problem. We didn't have a marketing problem, all right? We had a luxury brand that does some of the biggest, most expensive, highest end remodels in the area. Like, we did not have a pricing problem. So if anything, I would say the market was telling us our prices were too high. And again, what we had was a cost structure problem. And we attacked this cost structure on 3 fronts over the course of 90 days. First, we expanded our sub base and we created competition for our business while negotiating preferred relationships with our favorite subs to achieve cost breaks in exchange for volume. This found us 2 revenue points of savings. It's a lot of work for only 2 points. We then eliminated profit slippage from estimate to final job costing by standardizing the quality control and detail in our design so that there was absolutely no mistakes between what was drawn, what was cited in the specs, and the existing conditions. And by doing that, guys, we found a whopping 7 revenue points of savings. Like, literally, we were losing 7 points in build because of design mistakes. And then we ruthlessly slashed overhead. I eliminated our entire office management department. The internal marketing person, the office manager, the bookkeeper clerk, gone. That's $250,000 of payroll out the door, gone. And I outsourced their work to a bookkeeper CPA. I personally, with the owner, Ken, we took the marketing in-house and did it ourselves because we learned how to do it. Why pay 80 grand full time to a marketer when you can run your ads for 2 or 3 hours a week and save the money? But anyway, I also cut our design team in half and leaned on some contractors for drafting existing conditions. So all of that heartache, guys, because when you have to let people go, it is not pleasant. This found us another 4 points of revenue. So expanding our sub base found us 2 points. Eliminating the mistakes in design found us 7 points. Now we're at 9. Trimming the fat inside the company found us 4. So that's a 13-point swing. So without changing price at previous 1.5x markup, we went from losing 2% to 11% pre-tax on our old pricing structure, meaning exact same estimates, 2 exact same projects, priced the same, we were now making 11% pre-tax instead of losing 2%. Earlier, remember how I had the guys on our old cost structure raise our markup from 1.5 to 1.67. What I did was I was like, keep it. We found the top of the market. By doing that, we are able to pay the owner 10%, pay Uncle Sam his taxes, which is about 6% of our revenue, and keep another 10 points in the bank at the end of the year to invest and grow the company. Too many remodelers confuse gross profit with net profit with income. And so before you get your panties in a knot about what I'm saying about gross profit, understand that metric is fucking meaningless until you understand, control, and minimize your costs. And so I wanted to give you my framework for a remodeler general contractor to diagnose if you're too fat in costs or too thin in markup. The way it goes is we want to look at your labor, your job materials, your admin, your marketing, your design, your taxes, your owner comp, and your net profit. 8 things. So number 1, labor should come in at about 35 to 38% of revenue. Any more than that, you're paying too much. Any less than that, you're probably hiring Chuck on the truck and you're taking too much risk on. Job materials should come in somewhere between 24 and 27% of revenue. Now, again, guys, this is just my experience and looking at the last 15 operating years of history at CQC and our jobs in this study. Admin, right? Your office person, your office supplies, your rent, that should come in at 2 to 3% of revenue. Marketing should be at 2 to 3% of revenue. And guys, whether recession or good times, do not ever cut this expense. You are literally cutting your own throat. Okay. So design should come in at about 5 to 6% of overall revenue. Maybe a little bit more. I would call it 5 to 7% of revenue. Taxes should be 6 to 8% of revenue. Anything more than that, you need to fire your CPA. They're worthless. Any less than that, you're probably underpaying and the IRS is going to get you eventually. Now, this is where a lot of guys get screwed up. Owner comp. I do not like looking at owner comp as a percentage of revenue. Owner comp should be the opportunity cost for you as the owner of getting a job somewhere else where you don't have the risk of the business. You get compensated off your profit for the risk of owning the business. You get compensated for your time based on the role that you do in the company. And so you need to look at really 2 things. Number 1, what would you pay somebody to replace you for the job you do inside the company? That's the baseline. And number 2, how much money do you need to afford you, right? Not necessarily your lifestyle. I mean, obviously your lifestyle, but this is a delicate balance. I like to lean towards replacement value. My partner, Ken, likes to lean more towards lifestyle needs, whatever works for you. But what I'm getting at is to own let's just say a $3 million remodeler, right? To pay a general manager, you probably pay about $100,000 to give for somebody to take on profit and loss responsibility of your company. That starts at about $100,000. So whether you're a $1 million remodeler or you're a $5 million remodeler, you need to be paying yourself at least $100,000. Now, as your company gets bigger, that responsibility gets bigger, which means the replacement value of replacing you with somebody to do your job for you is going to go up. Like, for example, at CQC, which is a $15 million company, we're not going to be able to find a competent CEO to replace Ken below $250,000 a year. Whatever that number is for you, that's what you need to pay yourself. And then after you paid yourself, after your taxes, after your admin, after your marketing, after your design, after your job labor, after your job materials, you should be keeping at least 10% net profit inside your business. If you're not getting that 10% after you're paying yourself your replacement value, either A, we're not charging enough on contracts, or B, we're too fat inside the company. So guys, food for thought. This is just my framework when I look at a remodeler's P&L, specifically CQC's, to make sure that our costs are not creeping with our revenue. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. Take care.
Hey, what's up? As a reward for getting this far in our video, I have a special offer for you. I'm actually lying. I do have something to sell you, but it's not going to cost you any money, just your time. So every month we have a masterclass. It's only live, nothing's ever recorded, and we're going to solve 3 problems together. Number 1, we're going to solve your lead flow. Number 2, we're going to solve how to get customers to pay you cash before your marketing bill is due, in excess of your cost, so you have profit to go build your company. It's the secret to an infinite money printing machine as a remodeler. And the third problem we're going to solve is how to move away from selling rinky-dink $500 estimates to clipping $4,000 plus simply to put an estimate together. If you're curious how, I got a masterclass for you. Kicks off every month. Again, live, not recorded. Afterwards, you and I will do some live Q&A together. I'll let you in behind the scenes on some real black hat shit that we do, just to see what the real is. There's some stuff I just can't show public. Anyhow, again, guys, www.theremodelprofit.com. Go there, links in the notes, get our remodel business dysfunction prescription. And then once you get through that, you'll get the invitation to our masterclass. So again, www.theremodelprofit.com. Enter in your info, get our guide on solving remodeler business dysfunction, and sign up for the masterclass. All right, guys, I'll see you.